And all these parts from today's sponsor, BLIKA. Well, good morning, everybody. We actually took the evening. It was just too hot yesterday, and we saw it was going to be cooler today. So we figured we'd get out here early in the morning, but then we ended up having some meetings, things like that. So we got that all finished up, and luckily we have a little bit of overcast, pretty cloudy sky right now. So we should be able not to die out here in this heat while we put this together. Probably wondering what I was doing yesterday too. I was actually cutting the 4x4 uprights right here because they were starting to twist at the top and they were pretty worn, but they're still in good shape. So I cut them down flush, nice and perfect with the deck, because these posts actually get bolted with well, drilled in, screwed in or bolted with 4 screws here on the deck itself. So we figured we'd cut the post down, do that for now until it comes time to replace this and put new composite deck boards. These are perfectly fine for now and they're in great shape, but we do want to change the color up a little bit in the future. So I want to break down and explain some of these parts. This right here is one of the uprights. Get it out of the box here. As you can see, that is pretty solid. And you can see what I'm talking about. There's 4 holes right here. That gets bolted down or screwed into your deck. And then you'll see you have all these holes down the side right here. As I'm touching the side that doesn't have them. The side right here. And this is where your wires in the little inserts that I'll show you go through to hold those wires in place and get them nice and tight and taut. And this right here is one of the top rails. So this will be our top rails that go horizontally, and they look pretty good and they're nice and solid. So I think this is going to look really, really, really good. And then right here, these are those bolts that go through the upright post that hold the wire. So the wire actually goes into the bottom of this. They give you a crimp tool, which you'll see that here in the video. It gets crimped in 2 spots to hold the wire, and this end unscrews. So you slide the wire and that piece through your upright post. Then this screws on the other side. You can see it has a little Allen key head right there. So you use the Allen key in that, in the head, tighten it, and your wires are nice and secure. And of course, you have a big spool of wire. Like I said, your crimping tool and a whole kit here. Got that, and this was all included, you know. So if you go on their website and you go to order, you can get the whole bundle, everything you need to complete the project. Well, I got all the holes done for the upright on this side, so I'm going to get these ones in, and we're going to wait a little while because it is like 100 degrees out here, and these are really hot to grab. I had to put gloves on. What's really nice is they give you this 17mm socket attachment for your drill, and that's going to make this job a little bit easier. have these 4 loosely in place. Wind's picking up a little bit, so I got to make sure everything's secured here and not gonna blow away. This corner I can't do yet because I do have to do 1 strand of the wires, well, technically 10 strands of wires on this one. You'll understand what I'm talking about. They have these really handy little fittings right here that you just mount to the top of your uprights, and you'll see there's 2 holes right here, and whatever your top rail is, whether you get the metal ones that BLIKA has or you use your own wooden ones, you make them, you just screw right here up to these 2 holes and it holds your handrails in place. Well, good morning everybody. It is the final day of getting this railing project done. And we actually ran into not a problem, but poor planning on our part. So these right here obviously are all metal. The uprights, the handrails, all that. And we didn't think about how hot these things were gonna get. So we don't want people to burn themselves on the handrails. So we're actually gonna keep these handrails for a future project. There's Brittany. We're gonna keep the handrails for a future project. We went and picked up some 2x4s. We're gonna give them a good sanding. We're gonna stain them, and we're gonna use those as handrails. And I think it'll give it a good pop because we are redoing all this wood right here on the front of the windows, around the windows. So it'll kind of blend in, give it a good pop. Hence why we have this piece of wood framing around the window, not completely done yet, because we got to figure out exactly if we're staining it a certain color or what we're doing. But anyways, we made that change, so I got to get those cut to size. That way Brittany can start sanding them and getting them stained while I finish up the uprights and start the cabling. So next thing you have to do is you have these right here, these covers that cover the screws that you put down. So you just slide these over. Just make sure on ones like this that you either wait to put these on, or you're gonna just have to take them off to put these on afterwards, like I have to right there. And as I'm getting the caps down to cover the bolts, the screws, we got a little something going on over here that'll be in another video. Give you a little sneak peek. Slab is getting poured for the new garage / workshop. It's gonna have tall enough bays to work on vans, truck campers, overland rigs. So we're gonna have a little headquarters here for friends and family to get some projects done if they need to while on the road. And you can see obviously like everything's not straightened up, my uprights and stuff, because this deck is, you know, pretty wonky. So when we get those top rails on, that'll straighten these up. We'll make sure we screw them in, get them nice and straight, everything level. I have my post level right here, so we'll make sure everything is good and squared up, straight, and just looks the best we can. And like I said, probably in 2 to 4 years, maybe 5 years if we're lucky, we'll have to redo this deck anyways. So these will be pulled up and reused on the new deck. That one will be built exactly square, perfectly level. But this right here, you know, was built in 1997, so it's doing pretty well.
It's getting a little bit windy outside, but I want to show you guys 3 of the wood pieces I just stained. I think it looks really good with the cedar type stain. It's gonna look great on the railings.
So luckily the wind's picked up, we got a slight breeze. It doesn't make it the best for audio, but we threw on the mics. Wanted to show you these connectors. They're pretty awesome, and you could actually just buy the cabling kit too. So if you don't need uprights and you want to drill your own holes, you could buy these. You'll see this end has an opening, wire goes in there, gets crimped in 2 spots. They actually provide this crimping tool right here. It's a hydraulic crimping tool. I don't know the rating of it, probably says somewhere in the literature. And this right here is what will be used to crimp these in 2 spots. And you have all the different size fittings here for it. So let's get to it. So you'll see you have this nice black cabling right here. And just slide it through. And you don't have to slide it through first. You could obviously disconnect this and slide it through, but figured slide it through on the first one, get it pushed all the way to the end, and let's crimp it. Going anywhere. Oh yeah, that's crimped. Time for the second crimp. Space it out a little ways. Get it lined up. Only hard thing about doing this by myself right now while Brittany's staining, and you guys probably can't hear me because of wind, but it's hard to hold it and crimp it, hold it in place at first. Push it against the deck. Open that. And it's going nowhere. This first one, get that nice and solid. Tighten that here in a minute. And you'll see it goes through just like that. And you'll see for the stairs, there's these grommets. Work pretty good. And for this side, that obviously doesn't have the head of your screw mechanism right here. Don't know what else to call that. You actually have these little rubber grommets, and what's nice is they actually have a split in them, so you don't have to run the wire completely through them. You can just wrap them around the outside, push this, get this in place, and then push this into the hole, which is going to take a little bit of force. It's a little grommet seal. There you go, holds it in place. And what's really nice is they give you these wire cutters right here, so you can then pull your wire. I just connected it down there on that end. You just saw that. Get it marked where I need lengthwise, and they give you a pair of decent cutters to get that cut, and then get this end put in place.
As you can see, we have the first handrail up in place now, and when that gets put up, that's what helps make everything square up and look how it should.
Good morning and welcome to the final day of the BLIKA railing system install. These cable railings are really awesome and they're pretty easy to install. If I wasn't working with a deck that was all wonky and, you know, like 25 years old, it'd be much better, to say the least, because I've had to make some adjustments. I've had to straighten up the poles as we put in the handrails just because the decks are not completely level and square. But other than that, it has been great, and we are definitely going to be using these in the future on other projects. But it's time to continue installing the cables. Pretty simple, just monotonous and takes time. Well, we are almost done. We have a few to finish up right on here, but I actually need to throw in some black washers that we ordered from Amazon because I don't feel like redoing new wires and they're only off by a sliver. And we have the wires for over here all cut to size and ready to go in, so I'm gonna do that right now.
Let us know down below in the comments what you think of the BLIKA hand railing.
And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel to get all the updates. We'll see you in the next one.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.